Fareed Zakaria GPS, seen in Sunday morning 10 Eastern and Pacific.
My take. The big question we're all wondering about as we watch the continuing protests and turmoil in the Middle East is, what will come of it? And it's impossible to tell in the short term if the regimes will win or the people will. Remember that in the Middle East there are two methods of control: mass repression and mass bribery. The Syrians, for example, use mass repression. The Saudis mass bribery. In Bahrain, they've tried to do a bit of both, offering each citizen $2,700, but also putting tanks out on the street. I think that we're witnessing the beginning of a decade of change in the Middle East, whatever happens in the short term. Even if some of the protests are beaten back, even if people stay quiet for now, over the years, at various turning points, the death of a ruler, a planned election, a big public event, the protesters' demands will crop up again. The reason is that underlying these protests are two big trends that are not going to go away: youth and technology. The Middle East is going through one of the world's great youth bulges. 60% of its population is under 30. Now, youth bulges are generally associated with revolts and sometimes with violence. In fact, one study found that over the last 30 years, 80% of the countries that have experienced violent conflict have had a youth bulge. Millions of young men, restless, unemployed, who are treated as subjects, not citizens. This is a recipe for a revolution. And unless these regimes in the Middle East find these young people jobs and give them a sense of dignity, things will continue to bubble. Another place, by the way, where some of this could happen is sub-Saharan Africa, which also has an extreme youth bulge of its own. The second big force, other than the youth movement, that is powering these trends in the Middle East is the information revolution. We're living through a particular technological shift that is empowering individuals and disempowering governments. See, in the old days, revolutionaries would always try to take control of the radio station or the TV station so that they could use it to propagate their message to the masses. That was when information was a one-to-many phenomenon, one person to many. Today, the internet and social media have made technology a many-to-many phenomenon. You share information, photos, videos, messages easily. You create communities, organize activities. The system is flat. Everyone is connected, but no one is in control. That breaks down hierarchies, it erodes control, and it makes it very tough for dictatorships. It is much too easy to say that Facebook will make you free, but it does make life difficult for dictators and those who want to keep their people isolated from the broad trends of the outside world. It'll be a long journey, but I think the Middle East might just have begun its ride to modernity. Now, if you want to read more of my thoughts on all this, take a look at my cover piece in Time magazine or go to time.com. There's also a great portrait of the youth movement in the Middle East.